Robert Phillips versus Chicago Building Department, 45 CO1 1507 PR 56. Mr. Smith on behalf of the city and Mr. Stigler on behalf of Mr. Phillips. Where we are, status?
I think we have an agreement, Judge.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. On behalf of the city, and with me today, I have Mrs. Guzman. Ms. Guzman, she's the building commissioner of the city, and Mr. Foster Worth is one of the inspectors with the city. What I believe we've agreed to do, and Judge, just to set the table, as you recall, this emanated from a emergency order to vacate issue.
Right.
Ms. Guzman, we entered into a kind of a stay of that order and reorder that was entered by the court somewhat after our 7th hearing date. I think the court actually entered that order on July 7th. Since that time, the parties are continuing to try to work together towards a solution. However, it hasn't moved as quickly as we had hoped. So in an effort to try to move things along, what I believe Mr. Stigler and I have worked out on behalf of the parties is that we would enter a reorder of repair or demolition under the Unsafe Building Act. So it wouldn't be an emergency order. It would be the normal order that we enter in the Board of Public Safety, but we would simply enter it here as a reorder. I'll try to get it over to Mr. Stigler for signature. The city has agreed that they will work with Mr. Phillips to enter into a rehabilitation agreement, which is something that's required under the ordinance. If an order of demolition or repair is entered, you still want to repair your property. So the city would work with Mr. Phillips to enter into a rehab agreement during the time the property. During that time, however, the property would be bid out for demolition under the Act, so we would have a bid amount. We wouldn't act on that bid, but we would at least be able to bid it out to keep the process moving along. If a rehab agreement is worked out and while substantial progress is made on the property, the building commissioner will not request permits to be issued for demolition. However, if substantial progress towards repair under the rehab agreement is not made, the building commissioner can request permits to be issued for demolition through the Board of Public Safety. One other issue would be barricades that have been put out on the property by the city must be placed by the owner, which is the petitioner here, Mr. Phillips, appropriately and maintained by the owner, so that this court's previous order would be followed. In other words, it has to be placed. The entrance is open, but the barricades have to be all the way out to the sidewalk is blocked. There's some concern by the building commissioner and Mr. Ward that there is a potential for debris or the collapse of a wall. So they really have to be out on the sidewalk. Okay. And that is our agreement.
Yes, Judge, with regard to the barricades, Mr. Phillips has indicated to me and wants the court to know that he's tried to supplement the barricading that the city has done in order to ensure the people around the particular area as well as his patrons. And he has indicated that he likes to try to check this stuff when he's there each day. And but he's aware and he wants to assure that he's trying to maintain that.
Okay.
And it's our concern, Judge, that I don't know if he's there that often, then, because we have pictures from last week where everything's on the ground, they're not being maintained, and maybe it's somebody that he can put in charge of that on a daily basis. The barricades are being provided by the city. They just have to be
maintained.
Yeah, they have to be, because if they're not on the sidewalk, so that the sidewalk is impassable. In other words, you can still go in the entrance by crossing the street and going straight in the entrance. But as far as that sidewalk is concerned in the front, it has to be barricaded off so people cannot use the sidewalk.
Okay. What's the timetable on this?
On the bidding and the rehab agreement?
Yeah.
Well, so generally, Your Honor, just like to give you an example on the ordinary course of business, the order would be issued by the Board of Safety. That would be recorded on the property. We would then do bids usually in 8 to 10 weeks, is how long it takes to bid it out. During that time, we would present Mr. Phillips with the rehab agreement based on what we believe needs to be repaired. That would be entered before the Board of Safety, and he would usually be given anywhere from 3 to 8 to 9 months to repair the property. But it's one of those things where it's like, 3 or 4 months in, nothing's been done, no one's applied for any permits, we're still in the same position, and with the snow coming, there's a concern that, wet snow could cause collapse and things like that. So we're going to obviously be monitoring it. I obviously have contact with Mr. Stigler, and I would, of course, notify him if things are coming to a head. If he feels that additional action needs to be taken, we would go that way.
So you'll prepare the order? Get it in?
Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else?
No, I think everything's been covered, Judge, and Mr. Smith and I trying to keep our clients talking so that we can keep this stuff going.
Well, apparently you've gotten somewhere.
A little bit, we hope.
All right.
Slowly, we're getting there.
Okay, all right, I'll wait for the order. Thank you.
All rise.